everyone, in this video I'm just showing you my process for the drawings that I did for my Patreon this month. And at the start of March I only had 5 Jellie Box patrons, and normally with the Jellie Box I like to put in something a little extra, like change up the theme or do something a bit different each month. And that month I just got my compressor for my Copic Airbrush system, and I said I'll do full colour illustrations, and then I got, how many more? 7 or 8 more Jellie Boxes to do that month, and I really couldn't believe like the reception I got when I put the video up. I'm so grateful. So thank you to everyone who's pledged to me, even if you're not a Jellie Box patron or even if you're just watching my videos. I'm just so grateful for the feedback and the reception I've got to, my Patreon in general. But yeah, I decided that I was going to do full colour illustrations for every Jellie Box. And I ended up with 11 Jellie Boxes that month, and it took me about 3 days to get through all of this. So this footage is actually shot over a few days. So I've sped it up 2000% because it took me a long time. So I managed to get the whole video down to less than 10 minutes. So that's quite an achievement in my eyes. But yeah, I had 11 drawings to do in full colour, and I don't normally do full colour illustrations as commissions anyway, so it was something that was obviously going to take a long time. But I enjoyed it, and I got to use my brush pen a lot, and I got to grips with my Copic Airbrush a lot more. I'm still very, very new to it, and it's still a bit patchy in places, but I'll get used to it the more I use it, so it's really fun to use. But here I'm just using the Pentel Brush Pen on Bristol board, and I think I've used a few other brush pens. I'll list them in the description if I notice anything in the video. So yeah, I went over them first with Copic. Oh, I should mention this bit. At the beginning you saw me draw a chocobo, and I didn't like the chocobo, and I knew there was something wrong with it, but I thought I could draw a chocobo from memory because of the fact that I've drawn a lot of them, and turns out I can't, and for some reason I did the tail all wrong, so I redid the chocobo entirely. I was just like, why did I even do it that way? But yeah, so I went over them with Copic for the bits that I wasn't going to airbrush. So mostly I was just going to airbrush the background, just 1 or 2 colours at most, and just so I could have a bit of practice with my airbrush, and you'll see the airbrushing in a bit. But yeah, the bits that I wasn't going to airbrush I just decided to do with markers straight onto the paper. And I probably wouldn't use my airbrush on this size. This is just the size that came with my Patron boxes. So I wouldn't typically use my airbrush for something this small because it's not really necessary. I bought it to cover large areas, and an A6 piece of paper is not a very large area. It would be things like large sketchbook commissions and potentially A5, probably A4 drawings. It's just for large areas where I feel like I could save quite a bit of ink and time by using my airbrush. So yeah, I wouldn't use it again at this size. Definitely not. But I got some really, really great requests with this. Some of them were like original characters, like this angel. She hasn't really got a name. I was just given the brief draw an angel by my friend, and I had a few Pokemon. I had Kiki, and I had a rabbit, a bunny, and there was a lot of stuff to draw, so it was a lot of fun, lots of different things to draw. It was really enjoyable, actually. It just took a long time. A lot of sitting at my desk. But this, I should mention, this isn't a permanent feature of my Patreon. Normally you get a brush pen sketch with the inking and then some colour. It's not like proper full colour with airbrushing every month. It's just what I felt I could do last month, and then I realised, oh my god, I've got a lot of people now. So the sort of the I'm trying to think of the word, the special thing every month changes. So this month it's going to be an extra print of something and a sheet of my new stickers, which are coming out soon. So it's going to be it's just different things that I think of every month that I can change about the box. So the box isn't really the same every month. So it won't be this every month, but if I ever drop down to a smaller amount of patrons, or I manage to, you know, somehow find more time in my life, I could do this again probably. But yeah, it was still a lot of fun. And I think this is the last one I coloured with marker, and then I move on to airbrushing very soon. Actually, I enjoyed Zekrom. I was not up to drawing a really like crazy Zekrom. I'm not very good with like hyper detailed big Pokemon, so I was like, I'll just make him fat and squishy. And Medley, I love Wind Waker so much. Okay, so here I'm onto the airbrushing, and what I've done is mask every part that I don't want contacted with the airbrush with a sheet of Frisket Film, I think it's called. It's either Frisk Film or Frisket Film. And so basically I drew around it with a Sharpie, and you're meant to use like a scalpel and remove it that way, but I'm not very good with a scalpel, like a blade, so I didn't want to risk cutting into the drawing. So I just Sharpied it and then stuck it down afterwards anyway. And so like I cut it out with scissors as well. So that's how I got around the image. Yeah, there's the new Chocobo, much better. And here I'm actually just trying it's like a cotton makeup removing pad that I use, and you get them like in the baby section, and I just cut the edges off to make it a bit rougher, and I used it to make clouds. It's like a cloud stencil. It actually worked better than I was expecting. I just really wanted that very soft edge, but with sort of like a definition, so it looked like a cloud and it wasn't just a splotch. So I was quite pleased with that. I'll have to use that again. I also used a stencil on Wilson here, and I kind of cut out a bit of fire, like a random fire shape, and then just airbrushed around that to make it look like it had a hard edge. And with this one's a little bit different. So I masked the character, the bunny, and then I masked around it, so it was the only one that I had airbrushed onto the character directly, and I just wanted to give it like a cute little fuzzy button nose. I love bunnies. That was a fun day looking up references for that. So here I'm just peeling off all the Frisk film, and then I'm going back in with Sakura Jelly Roll, just to pick out some details and highlights with white and glitter. I think I applied to a couple. Yeah, so and then I added my signature on some of them and just finished them off a little bit. So I think some of these are starting to arrive now. It's getting quite close. A lot of the UK ones have arrived. I know one of them hasn't shown up in the post yet, which I'm not happy about, but I just hope it arrives. I really do hope it arrives. And yeah, so if you'd like to become a supporter of my Patreon, then the link will be in the description, and this was for the $25 tier, but yeah, I had a lot of fun, and there's all my Copics, oh my gosh. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and if you've got any questions, just ask in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. Thank you for watching, bye!